if you get to hear me now.
Hey team, thanks for dropping in. I had a chance this week to sit down with Wendy Fisher over at Tennessee OSHA and ask her just what does OSHA do with all that money? Check it out. You don't have a Lamborghini and a yacht, do you?
I do. Yeah, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
I would get told and not asked. You know, OSHA takes that money and they put it in their pockets, right? That's why it incentivizes them to go out and find stuff. And before I got into the field that I'm in and actually met some of you and realized that you're not all in Lamborghinis and yachts. Wait,
Exactly.
you don't have a Lamborghini and a yacht, do you?
I do. Yeah, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Just want to make sure.
Neither one. I wish maybe I did, but no.
Yeah. But I would get told so frequently, you know, it incentivizes them to go out and find it because they get to take that money. And so you are the person to answer that question. What happens with the fines that are collected?
So that is what a lot of people think, right? It lines our pockets, but it doesn't. It actually goes back into the state, the general fund for the state. And so, you know, if somebody gets cited and they have to pay their penalty, they make a check out to the Treasurer Department of state of Tennessee. So it doesn't even come to TOSHA. It goes back in the general fund. So it's not something that we are incentivized to do at all. We do not incentivize our compliance officers at all they have to find so many violations. It's just not like that. They see what they see when they're out there. They identify hazards. That's what they write up. There's not a what do you call that? A protocol for you have to find 5 violations for every inspection that you make. It's just not like that. They are trained to look for hazards and to identify those hazards when they're out there. And then if they need to, we issue a citation because of the hazard.
So there's no bounty system? I mean, you don't have to go out and pick apart so many people and then you get a bonus or you get a raise or you get to a new position or you get to, no, there's no bounty on us, huh?
There's none of that. There is none of that. No bounty, truly. We do not respond that way at all. Our compliance officers are trained to look for hazards, identify hazards on the site. And if they don't find any, that's okay too, as long as we feel like that they did a really good job evaluating the job site. Questions that we always get is there ever an inspection done where there's no citations? Well, yes, there are. We're about, I want to say about 20, we run about 25% of inspections that we do are in compliance, meaning there were no citations issued. So,
oh, wow.
It does happen. The people complaining are usually the ones that don't have that happening to them, but
yeah.
But anyway, it does happen.
Well, 25% is a pretty big number. That's a pretty big number of trips that you guys make that you walk away and shake everybody's hand and say, good job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it does happen, and a lot of people don't understand because they're the ones getting the citations, but it does happen. There are good companies out there. There are good employers that, we just don't find any violations that are following all the protocols. So following all the regulations, and we just don't find any violations. So.
Well, so that's a good follow-up to that one. Why would you go visit somebody? I think everybody assumes if you go somewhere, there is something wrong. Why would you go inspect somebody that there is nothing wrong?
Okay, so we've got our field operations manual tells us that we have some priorities, right? So we look at inspections like this. If there's an imminent danger situation, which, imminent danger means there's an accident waiting to happen. And so if we know about that, that's the first thing that we do. We drop everything else we're doing and we go make that inspection. If there's a fatality at work, we drop everything we're doing and we go make that inspection. We used to have a category called catastrophe, and that's where 3 or more employees were admitted to the hospital due to one incident. We don't have that category anymore because, as you know, a few years ago we have this new law that says employers have to report hospitalizations, loss of an eye, and amputations to us within 24 hours. So now we address every one of those that come to us. So we have imminent danger, fatality, catastrophe. Then we have complaints or referrals. That's our next priority. A complaint is by an employee most of the time, and a referral is by another agency, like TDOT or something like that. Would call us and say, "Hey, I was out at a facility, saw some safety hazards. You all may want to take a look at that." So if we don't have any of those things to do, we do what's called a general schedule inspection, and we pick a name off the list, and that list is comprised of high hazard industries. And it could be that we go and make that inspection of a cabinet shop, and the employer has hired a consultant, knows all about the OSHA standards, been to an OSHA 10, has got their shop in order. And so we go out there and make an inspection, and we don't find a single violation. We may go and do an inspection based on a complaint. We get out there, and it was a bogus complaint. Maybe somebody was a little bit aggravated. Maybe they got fired or who knows what. But we go out there, we do an inspection. We don't find any hazards. So we would leave there empty-handed, right? We would shake their hands and say, "Good job," and go on about our business.
That's good. So that was what I really wanted you to bring out, is that not every time you guys show up that there's a problem. There are scheduled inspections, and there are disgruntled employees that will call just to embarrass their employer. And so you're not the bad guys. Well, team, I'd like to thank Wendy Fisher for taking time out of her busy schedule to sit down with us and talk all things money. Like and subscribe for more great content. We'll see you next time.